GOP leader, where he said black people need to go back to Wakanda. Fictional place, yes. Put it up full mass. Yeah. Dave Roetman, the newly appointed executive director of the North Dakota Republican Party, is now officially no longer the executive director of the North Dakota Republican Party. He's on the outs. Well, here's why. They discovered that his X account, formerly known as Twitter, is riddled with racist and sexist tweets. Wait a minute, you all just figured this out? It was there when you hired him. There's more. It took only 10 days after he was hired to be the state's party executive for him to resign after those social media posts were found and reported. Let me give you background on the post. According to the reports by the Forum of Fargo-Moorhead, Roetman made, quote, dozens and dozens of ignorant social media posts, including comments on underneath, photos of half-naked women, jokes about women making sandwiches and pies, and the suggestion that black people should move out of the United States and migrate to Wakanda, a fictional African kingdom that was the setting for Marvel film Black Panther. It was reported that in response to a woman's post about relationship advice, he said, quote, here's a quarter, keep it between your knees, end quote. He approved groping women. And in response to another ex-user's post about whether an attractive woman in a photograph could make sandwiches, made a joke about making pies. He also commented, narcissist, in a response to a story about a black female reporter leaving a country music festival after a man called her a racial slur. So here's the response from the former executive director of the Republican Party of North Dakota. Quote, I believe the best path forward for the NDGOP is for me to take a different path, said Dave Roetman in a brief statement announcing his resignation. I wish them all the best. When reporter Rob Port posed a question about the post, he was completely unapologetic. I am a man who stands by his words, he told Rob Port. Put up some of the memes mocking the situation. So Dave Roetman said, about my replies to other people's posts on Twitter, oh no, anyway. And then he doubles down and says he is not concerned. I'm offended by something you posted, I'm not concerned. But you have to listen to me. No, I do not, etc. So let me give you background on him. So he joined X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, April 2022, and has been an avid user ever since. He was hired after the former executive director, Samantha Hawley, abruptly vacated the position in September due to her conflict with some party members' desires to exclude traditionally conservatives, Republicans in favor of Donald Trump loyalists. Roetman seems to have no issue with that sector of the party. Recent social posts on his X account hint at his support for the devoted Trump GOP faction. You don't say. He basically is the GOP and Trump combined. So let me say this about party politics. I was the political director and chief strategist for the Georgia Democratic Party for years and years ago, might I add. The politics of the internal structure are just as chaotic as the politics of the external structure of politics. But you cannot convince me that you become the executive director of the GOP in North Dakota and nobody vets you. No one checks your social media. No one is aware of your political and social stance. Doesn't happen that way. The reason why he had to resign is because, well, we started talking about it. They knew about it, I guarantee you that. But when media started talking about it, all of a sudden, it's a different thing. And here's the other dynamic. If they were actually offended by what he did, you do not give a racist person the opportunity to resign. You fire them and you create an example of what will not be tolerated at this agency. Remember, a state political party is a corporation. It is a company. Okay, Ben, thoughts here?
I mean, that's what you would do in the normal world. In the Republican Party these days, somebody's caught with racist, sexist tweets, you get a promotion. I'm surprised they didn't lift him up, hold them up like they're Lion King and say, this is our new leader. So yeah, the negative exposure must be what they decided they didn't want to have to handle, because they certainly don't have issues with that kind of behavior. He said that black people should move to a fictional town.
Yeah.
Yet the Republican Party across this nation are the ones that think fictional towns do exist, like the America they think exists or ever existed, that they want to go back to. And so they live in a completely strange, delusional place. And you see a story like this, and my thought is like, the boiled down to its basic elements is basically mean, bigoted person forced to quit mean, bigoted group because their mean bigotry didn't quite align.
Right.
That's basically what's happening there. That said, I hope the part that he's really being punished for is the sexist comments and the racist tweets, and not just leaving comments on Instagram under half-naked photos, because I didn't know that was cancelable. I've done that a million times, and that's just because I'm trying to support my friends. I'm trying to support my friends.
Yeah, it was what he said underneath.
It depends what you write.
That's right.
It depends what you write.
Context does matter.